translation. We'll read tomorrow again. The loving search for the lost servant. We can hear from Srila Goswami Maharaj. We continue from yesterday. We may have a taste of that divine life only in that plane of nectar, that we may live in the waves of that ocean of love, is the highest objective of our lives. In that divine realm, our individual personalities can be maintained. It is not necessary that if we dive deep into the plane of consciousness, we must lose our own personality, our own individuality. It is not necessary at all. And yet the nature of divine love is that you are still living, but you are living on His behalf, wholesale converted into His service. It is a wonderful thing. You can keep your personality for the interest of Krishna, but you must have no selfish motive, no conception of separate interest. Merging there is not physical, mortal merging, not merging of the losing variety, but the kind of merging spoken of in Srimad Bhagavatam, Mrityoyata Dhyaktva Samasta Kama Niveditatma Jikisityumi Yatamritatvam Pratipadyamano Mayatma Payaya Chakalpadevai. One who is subjected to birth and death attains immortality when he gives up all material activities, dedicates his life to the execution of my order, and acts according to my direction. In this way, he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. So, again and again, the teachings of Bhagavatam, of the Acharyas, of the realized soul, again and again, they are telling us, as long as we have any goal, anything we want to attain in this material world, for self-satisfaction, for satisfaction of others, anything, we are not able to understand who we are. We are not able to come on the platform of the soul. So, if you want to become eternal living beings, you don't have to die physically. It is dying of my interest in this material plane where we are, where we have personal desires to enjoy. But as long as we are try to enjoy matter or in this material world, we will have no idea, or we will not understand what is our real position, where we are coming from, where our eternal relation is. So the spiritual bliss, he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. Krishna says this in Bhagavad. So as soon as he understands real loving exchange, not this what we are practicing in this material world. This is not real. This is bodily conception, and we have not understood what real love means, because it is not based on bodily conception. It is spiritual, and we have to connect ourselves, and the Lord will have a loving exchange with those who are surrendering and understanding, I am a part of Him, I am meant for Him, I have my loving mellows with Him. And this will manifest if we are through the process of Bhakti. This we will realize under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says also, Bhakti Mavavijjanati Yavanasya Smitatvata Domam Tattvadoti Gyatva Vishati Tattanandaram. Only through love and devotion can I be understood. Only through love and devotion can I be understood as I am. Means fully surrender. This is what our Gurudev many times he started his lectures. Surrender, surrender, surrender. This is, we surrender not to the material plane, we surrender to the Supreme Lord. So only through love and devotion can I be understood as I am. Thereafter, fully understanding me, you can merge into my entourage. This merging is explained by Krishna. They enter into me to become a person in my family. Among the circles of my friends, he enters Vishadedat Anandaram. He becomes as if my own. That means that without losing your personality, you can be fully my own. So it does not mean that I become a non-person or I become a different person. I am always the same person. With all my characters, with all my attitude, whatever my character is, I can use all these things in the service or in the loving exchange to the Supreme Lord. That because of this there is unlimited forms and unlimited pastimes the Lord performed, so that every part of Him, we are part and parcels of Him, can find our relation, our eternal relation, where we are absolutely satisfied and realized, and we can experience there is no death, there is no birth. Our relation to the Lord is eternally. So to enter into the Lord's family is a living merging, not a physical or dead merging into Brahman, spirit. That is the result of prema, divine love. So we have to develop first, under the guidance, as we say, of a bona fide acharya, to attain this kind of consciousness, that we are getting connected. He can open the doors to the eternal world, and we can decide, yes, I want to be one of the family member of the Lord. In so many different rasas, different relationships, everything according to our nature will be, he will have an exchange with his part and parcels in a loving way. That the ideal is above the general conception of merging into the oneness of Brahman. There one loses oneself in the ocean of consciousness as if in a sound sleep. We are not interested in that. Rather, through Krishna consciousness, we become lost, swimming in the ocean of sweetness. This has been accepted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once Radharani left the Ras Lila, then she saw that all the gopis were being dealt with almost equally by Krishna. Equal treatment towards one and all did not satisfy her. So she decided to display a composition of singing and dancing to please Krishna in a most wonderful transcendental way. Radharani showed her skill in various ways. Then at the last moment she suddenly disappeared. And as Krishna was engaged in that combined singing and dancing, he suddenly found that Radharani was absent. So he left everyone to search for Radharani. He met her on the way, and after walking for some time, Radharani told him, I can't move, I can't walk anymore. If you would like to go on, you will have to carry me. I cannot go further. And suddenly, Krishna disappeared. So a disciple of Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur once asked him why Krishna had disappeared in such a way. But our Guru Maharaj was very disturbed to hear such a question. In this Leela, Krishna is apparently showing some disregard for Radharani. So our Guru Maharaj, by his very nature, could not even tolerate such a question, because he could not tolerate that Radharani or Krishna disappeared. Because Radharani can never be without Krishna. opposite. Krishna can never be without Radharani. He had so much partiality towards Radharani that he was not disposed to hear anything against her. And so in a rather excited mood, he answered, "Do you find any devotion here? What bhakti do you find here that you have asked me this question?" The question was rejected. He could not tolerate even an inquiry regarding that pastime. When this news came to me, I tried to find what Bhaktivinoda Thakur had written in his own words about this. About his own words, about these words of Srimad Bhagavatam in his own translation. Bhagavata Mahariti Mala is the book. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has harmonized the difficulties in the verse. He explains that Krishna was thinking, I would like to see what will be the mentality of separation in her. Only to appreciate the depth of the separation she felt from him did Krishna disappear. Then of course Krishna returned after some time, but our Guru Maharaj could not even tolerate the idea. There is devotion to be found here. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur interpreted this passage to mean that Krishna was driven to see what kind of happiness in separation Srimati Radharani would experience. He took this as an example of how the Absolute becomes subservient to his devotee. And so we find that the negative Srimati Radharani is so powerful that the positive Krishna becomes powerless near her. It is as if the positive loses its separate existence. This is the victory of devotion. Devotion is represented in the negative side, drawing from the positive. There is the juice in a fruit, and the one who extracts the juice from the fruit. The highest devotion is found where the extraction is in its most intensified condition. There is the victory of the devotees, where the Absolute accepts defeat before his servitors. This reveals the real presence of devotion, dedication, surrender. So this is how love can control even the Supreme Lord, the Creator of everything. He gets captured by the love of his devotees, and he feels this separation, and in this way the divine love, like Srimati Radhika, she had to the Lord, had captured the Supreme Lord. So surrender is so powerful that it can even capture the Absolute. We are aspiring for that kind of potency. Whoever possesses that, they are all in all, they are our masters. For our highest interest, we must look towards the direction in which that power is intensified. We shall try to look wherever we find surrender, in a thick condensed stage. Our aim should be directed towards that. We are beggars of that. We are not beggars of anything which can be found in this mundane world. Nadanam Na janam dasundarim, not wealth followers or the enjoyment of women, but eliminating everything else. Our aim should be directed towards one thing, that most intensified condition of divine service to the Lord, of love. We should try to convert everything in such a way that it can go to that unknown quarter, beyond the restriction of our sense experience or mental acquisition. Like a rocket sent out deep space, Srimad Bhagavatam, which draws the essence from all the revealed scriptures, says that divine love is the most desirable and original thing. We must not allow ourselves to run here and there, searching for base fulfillment. We must forcibly concentrate our attention on divine love. Divine love is the highest thing for us. It is the highest in creation, the highest in eternity. And to take our stand in the negative position is the strategy of remaining in the reality of the highest quarter of service to Krishna. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur once composed a verse expressing the proper attitude. Pujara Raga Bhakta Gaurava Hangimate Sadhu Jana Vishayarange. The path of divine love is worshipable to us and should be held overhead as our highest aspiration. He ordered that a cottage be built for him in Govardhan and said, I shall live there. I am not fit for living Radha Kund. So I shall live in a lower position but my gurus, Gaukishore Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and others are fit to serve there. So I shall go and serve them there in Radha Kund, then return to a little lower position in Govardhan. There I shall stay. That is the proper tactic to maintain a subjective position in the subjective world. Otherwise, if we think that we are in the highest quarter, that higher reality will vanish from us. Only from a little lower position shall we view the higher plane with respect. But whenever we think that we have attained that higher position, that we are there, we are nowhere. That is the nature of higher world. So we must maintain a respectable distance. If we try to look directly, we lose. But if we try to look at the plane through a screen or from a hidden place, then we may see. It is most peculiar. If we want to come in direct contact with things of a higher order, then they vanish from our experience. If you can't come in direct connection with some thing, you may find out about it by espionage. It is something like espionage. If you try to know it directly, it is impossible. Only from behind the screen can we have a glimpse. So we should never go directly approach the Supreme Lord and think we can see or we can experience the pastime. This is not our position. We have to, only from behind the screen can we have a glimpse. So in that way we can experience the highest ontological truth. As if by chance ontological truth comes to us. He accepts us suddenly. We can find him. He is absolute. He is an autocrat. He is independent. Whenever comes by his own whim to give his connection to us, we can have it. It is never within my clutches. He is not an object to come directly within my control. He is always above. So by this system we can come to the highest realization, in the highest order of Lila, of Radha Govinda. Krishna asks Radharani to do something, and she refuses, saying, "No, I want to it. I do that." And yet she has been accepted as the highest mood of negative side. To deny Krishna, whatever he may want, is called Brahmabhava. And Radharani is full of that nature. But that enhances the eagerness, the earnestness of Krishna. The whole system is a crooked one. And yet this is the way recommended for the poorest to come in contact with the highest. It is a wonderful device. The direct transaction, the clear face-to-face transaction is absent there. Everything is like stealing. Everything there is stealthy performance. In the highest area, in the area of autocracy, it is wholly black market, and for that reason it is known as apakrita, just similar to the lowest conception of things in our present life, living condition. We can't tolerate autocracy. It is considered the lowest thing, but autocracy is there in the highest world. So it is known as apakrita, the highest quarter of the transcendental world, which can harmonize everything. The beauty of that plane is that even what is considered to be the lowest type here is all harmonized there. The harmonious strength is so great there that what is undesirable, nasty and bad here is harmonized in such a way that it gets the highest position there. Krishna's peculiar position is such that the lowest has been proven to be the highest by his magic touch. Because he is there. No plot is a plot. It is pure. Krishna consciousness is the touch of Krishna, the beauty, the highest order. Just as the touchstone will not only convert silver into gold, but it will also transform even iron, lead, or a lower thing into gold. The touchstone of Krishna is so powerful that the lowest type of everything within our conception receives the highest position by his magic touch. Raghunath Das Goswami says that if you are unable to accept this as truth, then you will be thrown down into Vaikuntha. Go live there, where general law rules, where there are fair dealings. Go down to the land of fair dealings. Simply dealings where you can calculate and go on living very nicely. So we'll stop here. If there's any question or anything, we can explain. It was a little high topic. It is not ordinary devotees. When I was reading this in the late 90s, the first time, I thought, what else now should I hear? What else goes further? What else goes deeper? And I lost taste of everything. These explanations go very deep. Of course, if we are not have attained a certain level of realization or understanding what it means, Krishna consciousness, or the spiritual world, our ears or our mind will not accept, he will not understand it. To a certain degree we may follow, but the essence perhaps is not easy to catch, because it is, in many cases, it would be like suicide. What is this material world so nice? I can add Krishna, I can be the enjoyer, and I offer Krishna something to eat. But this is not pure devotion. This is not Shuddha, pure. Pure devotee, he has given up anything in this world. He is living only on the mercy of the Lord and the mercy of his pure devotees, his close devotees. And we may pray that this kind of devotees may bless us, because we have no power to go to Krishna, because we are unqualified. But by the mercy of pure devotees and sadhus, saints, they may open the door, only a small, so that we can give, we can just get a glimpse of what's going on in the spiritual plane. So it is Krishna's. On the end, Krishna is deciding. If we go approach him in a way, in an arrogant way, I know Krishna, I have understood, then you are disqualified. Then we have no qualification. It's a small part of this, giving such an understanding. We cannot understand Krishna by reading all the books of this universe, by knowing even by heart. Books cannot create Krishna consciousness. We need a living source, because spiritual life is living. It is life. Like Swami Maharaj, he wrote one book, Life Comes from Life. So spiritual understanding comes from one who has realist or who is a member of the spiritual plane. Otherwise we have to go to the university and study or whatever is possible, but you will not you will not understand the essence, what is the goal of our life, where we are going. You just continue, birth after birth. Surrender, surrender, surrender. You have to surrender to such pure souls. So I think there's no question on these things. Jai Srila Sitadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Guru Premanand.